Hello everyone, it's Lindsay, and today I have a fun video showing you this new book written by Shanna Noel. She's the founder of Illustrated Faith, and it's this book called 10 Ways to Fall in Love with Your Bible. And so as I was working through this book, I came to this page where she has you list 5 ways that you could express your faith, but you didn't, or you were holding back. And so there's a verse down at the bottom of that page that I thought I would journal today. But here I'm just letting you take a look in this book that she has written. It's got some great encouragement for spending more time in your Bible, and it also has some interactive pages where you can list some things or some devotional prompts and some just great things in this book. So be sure to check it out. I'll have a link in the description bar down below. But for today's video, I'm going to be working on a Bible journaling process, and I'm working on Psalm 9 verses 1 through 2. And to begin, I'm going to go ahead and take some of this white acrylic paint. This is one of the paints from Illustrated Faith. And I'm just taking a card and applying a really thin layer of this white paint to the margin. It doesn't really make a huge difference, but I wanted to kind of cancel out some of the faint lines that are on the margin of this page and just kind of brighten up the margin so there's a little more contrast between the letters I'm going to put down and the back of the page. So this isn't a necessary step, but I just felt like making it a little brighter and whiter in the background here. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to some ink blending. I've cut down a piece of watercolor paper, and I've cut it to 4 inches wide by 8 inches tall. I just wanted something that was a little bit smaller and more manageable to work with, and I will be die cutting some letters out of this. But first, I'm going to do some ink blending. So I've taken 4 different distress inks, and this one here is picked raspberry. I also use spun sugar, cracked pistachio, and evergreen bough. And these colors here, between the greens and the pinks, you don't get a great blend, but I just really thought these colors were really pretty. You have these kind of mints and teals and bright pinks, and when we die cut the letters from them, that you won't notice the blend as much where those two colors run together. So I'm just going to take these 4 colors and blend them into each other on this piece of watercolor paper, working back and forth between the 4 colors. And so I've sped this up quite a bit because it did take a while to get all of these blended together, and on a piece this size it took quite some time just to get a smooth, even blend, and I wanted to get the color really saturated so it was really bright. So here you can see you have that really pretty pink to green fade. Now I'm just taking my distress sprayer. It has just plain water in it, and I'm just spraying a few random little droplets of water on that background piece. And when I pick it up with a paper towel, you can see here it pulls some of the color off the background, and this just adds a little more texture to that blend and kind of just helps everything blend together just a little bit better. And I'm going to go ahead and hit that with my heat tool. I dried this pretty well because it was pretty saturated with ink. And before I start placing everything on my page, I want to make sure it's 100% dry so I'm not smearing ink anywhere as I go along. So today I'm going to be using these double cut alpha dies from Concord & Ninth. I'll be sure to link those down in the description bar down below. These are super cute and fun. So I'm going to go ahead and lay these out on this piece. And I'm going to be spelling out, I will be glad and exult in you. So Psalm 9 verses 1 and 2 say, I will give thanks to the Lord with my whole heart. I will recount all of your wonderful deeds. I will be glad and exult in you. I will sing praise to your name, O Most High. So I'm going to go ahead and cut those out of this background piece. And you can see here, at first I was lining them up first before I laid them down, and then now I'm just kind of randomly placing them. But I am sure to place these letters so that when the words are on my page, there will be a pink to green gradient on the words, and you'll see that as we kind of move along here. So I'm just using some washi tape that I've stuck to the back of my hand to take some of the stickiness off, and then I'm placing that on there to hold those letters down on that piece while I run it through my Sizzix Big Kick machine. Now this die set from Concord & Ninth is super cute and super fun, but it only has 1 of each letter, so I ended up having to run this through my die cutting machine several times to get some of the letters that I need multiples of, like the I's, the L's, and things like that. So you can see here when it cuts basically 2 different pieces, so you get like an outline shape and then a solid shape to these letters. So here I've gone ahead and cut all of them out, and you can see here how it's going to look on the page. and you are able to still see that gradient from pink to mint green. And now we're going to go ahead and start placing them down into my page. And I first want to kind of lay them down on the page to see where they're going to go out and get everything lined up how I want it. Make sure that I have plenty of room to get all of these words down on the page. So I'm keeping most of these intact with the 2 pieces, but you can see here for the word glad and exalt, I went ahead and I'm just using the outline pieces of these die cuts. So these, you get a lot of versatility with these dies here. Now I'm going to go ahead and put these through my Xyron sticker maker. Because they are really small and there are a couple different pieces to each letter, I just didn't want to fuss with liquid glues and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and send these all together through my sticker maker, and it's basically going to turn these into little stickers. So it coats the entire back of these letters with adhesive, and then I can go ahead and just stick them down to my Bible page. So you want to be sure that you rub the tops of them before you remove that topper piece of plastic, and this is what makes it so that the adhesive is adhered just to the back of the letters and not kind of all over the place. So I know I'm out of frame here, I'm sorry, but basically I'm just rubbing the top of those before I take that plastic sheet off. And then now these have become stickers and I can place these down. The other great thing about running them through together with the separate pieces all together is that now the adhesive is kind of helping hold that outer outline together with the inner part of the letter, and so it makes it a lot easier to place down on the page. With this sticker maker, I do end up still having some adhesive on the edges of the letters, and it's a little messy, and at the end of this video I'll kind of show you how I deal with the sticky that's exposed and keep it from adhering to the other page. So I've gone ahead and stuck everything down on the page, and then here I'm taking a little bit of baby powder, and I'm just going to pick up a little bit with my finger and then rub it over these letters. This is what's going to cancel out any stickiness that might be exposed, and that way I don't have to worry about my pages sticking together. If you use a small amount of baby powder, not too much, it doesn't affect the colors or anything like that. It just takes away that stickiness, and I just go over it with a really fluffy paintbrush to wipe off any excess, and now all of the stickiness has been covered with the baby powder and it won't stick to the opposite page. So now I'm going to go ahead and use my Gonzai Tombi watercolors, and I'm just going to use the black paint down at the bottom here and just kind of tap my brush over my page so it leaves little black splatters on the page. I just wanted to add a little more contrast and some interest to this page. I was keeping it fairly simple and basic, but I did want to add a little bit of detail to the background there. And I got it on the opposite page, but that's okay. And then I went ahead and dried that. So now I'm just taking my roller date stamp, marking the date, and then I'll go ahead and take my Illustrated Faith precision pen and underline the verse. Again, it's Psalm chapter 9, verses 1 and 2. And then now I'm going to add some of these little enamel hearts. These are also from Illustrated Faith. I'll go ahead and link those down in the description bar down below. And I'm just going to add a few of these around the page. I really like the contrast between the black and those really bright pinks and greens. And I decided I'm going to use one of these enamel heart stickers as a tab on this page. So again, I'm going to use a little bit of baby powder on the back of this enamel heart, the part that's exposed over the top of the page. And this is going to remove that extra stickiness. So now that enamel heart is going to act just like a tab. And that is it for my page today. So be sure to check the description bar down below for links to all the products used today, as well as a link to where you can purchase that book by Shanna Noel for yourself. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed, and give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. And until next time, thank you so much. Bye-bye.